if you can play GM with money freed up before the draft, who do you target, then draft? Ooh, this is kind of fun. So I could actually go over to some of our other slides if we want to talk about some of the prospects, like the tackle prospects, if we want to do that. Matt, what do you think?
Sure. That sounds fantastic. We could talk some free agency money.
All right, let's allow Green Bean back from his frozen hiatus so I can switch scenes here. All right, so let's pull this down. We're going to talk a little prospect. So one player I would like to see the Jets target, I really like Tyron Smith a lot. He is a 5-time All-Pro, only gave up 1 sack and 18 pressures on the season. I think this dude, if you can get him, now over PFF has his contract projected at 1 year, $10 million. I feel like it's going to take more than that to lure him away from Dallas. But if you had to pay like 1 year, 14 for your left tackle, I would do it. Or 2 years and change for Matt. What about you? Where are you feeling with Tyron Smith?
Oh, okay. He's missed 4, 13, 6, and 14 games over the last 4 years. I'm going to say no. I'm out on 33-year-old injured tackles. I'm going to say no.
Ooh, Green Bean, what do you feel about Tyron Smith?
I would take him, but I do have the same fears Matt had. I'm leaning toward another guy that I think will be a.
Let's see if I might have a slide for him in terms of tackle. So who are you leaning towards, Green Bean?
Brown.
Okay, so let's pull him up. Trent Brown, he's left-right tackle for the New England Patriots. He has a little bit of positional flexibility throughout his career. 3 sacks, 17 pressures, only 3 penalties on the season. There were reports out of New England this year that had him habitually late to meetings and struggled to be motivated, was what I've come across. Now, I do like Trent Brown, everything outside of some of the comments that were made, and that gives me some, like, creepy, maybe 𝐒𝐭𝐭 Becton vibes. I don't know if that's, like, not right to say because Becton, obviously a different player, but I just don't want to see, like, effort be a concern here. Matt, how do you feel about, or I guess, Green Bean, you tell us a little bit about Trent Brown.
Look, as far as reports and all that, who knows what's real and everything. The guy's been dominant throughout his career. Like you said, the thing I like about him is that he has true left-right flexibility. He's been dominant at both positions. He did miss games the last couple years, which is a bit concerning. And I didn't love that the Raiders were willing to just kind of get rid of him. I think it was the Raiders, right? I confuse these things sometimes, but
it was, yeah. He was on the Raiders. Now, as far as his injury history is concerned, he's missed games. He missed 1 game this past year. 5 games this past year. He didn't miss any in 2022. He had a calf strain that caused him to miss 8 games the year before that. So there is some concerns with Trent Brown in terms of that.
He missed even more. Yeah. So I think that's why they were kind of. Oh no, maybe not. No wait. So anyway, there's some concerns there, but he's 30. He'll be 31, I believe. Let me look.
Yep. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So as far as Jets tackles are concerned, that might as well be fucking 18 years old. You know what I
mean? Matt, what do you feel about? Matt, how you feeling about Trent Brown?
Not great. I don't want to keep being the Debbie Downer. I don't think there's any tackles that I really, really like in this free agent class. I like the other New England tackle better on 𝐒𝐻𝐈. I think that's the route that. Oh, he has a clip for it. Look at that.
He's got a slide, dude. I'm on it. I'm with you, Matt. I'm 100% with you on 𝐒𝐻𝐈.
He's played tackle and guard. Probably someone you just want on the right side, but you'll take whatever. You need a tackle on both sides of the ball. But I would rather go this route. He's younger. He just played his age 26 season. He turned 26 just in December. So, he's going to be 26 most of next year too. 𝐒𝐻𝐈's probably my favorite tackle option, but my preference is to sign interior offensive linemen and have 𝐴VT at tackle.
So I actually agree with you on this. I would say Onwenu is my favorite tackle in this class. I like that 4 penalties on the season. Sounds good to me. 3 sacks given up, 23 pressures, not too bad. No contract talks. Apparently in December, he said they hadn't discussed anything. Now, Belichick was on his way out, so that's not necessarily, damning at this point. They may have said, hey, we're going to let the new GM or whoever it is make a decision on our offensive line. But if he becomes available, 4 years, $58 million is what PFF is projecting his contract to be. He's interesting. I think he's fascinating to me, and I do think AVT is set to go out to tackle. It's just a matter of how you solve it in free agency, and are you going to have him be left tackle or right tackle? I think there's a little bit of flexibility in terms of where we're going to play him. Greenbean, where do you feel AVT ultimately ends up playing next year?
I think that, looking at the crop of tackles, they might want to do that. And they were talking about him being a tackle last year, just kind of moving to tackle and being a tackle. I think AVT would be fine with that, monetarily speaking. But like everybody says, it's not the position. I'm telling you, man, I'm a superstitious guy. He played 16 games at guard. Every time, both 2 years in a row, we moved him to tackle. He's injured a couple weeks later. I don't love it. I think there's bad juju to it. No matter what it is, I don't know why. I don't know what. I think there's bad juju. It concerns me to do that. That said, can he do it? Can he play it? Obviously, he can. I think that if he stays healthy, he'd be a fantastic option. But it concerns the living hell out of me. And I really hope that they get some serious depth behind him, not just some Billy Turner-esque option back there. I would love to see some real security this year. But yeah, I mean, if that's the way you want to go, there are more guards. Guys like Jonah Williams, he's going to be, if he makes it to market, he's going to get a contract that's indicative of someone that's truly dominant. And I don't know if he necessarily deserves that. I don't dislike Jonah Williams. I like Jonah Williams. I like them coming out. I like Jonah Williams, overall, but I don't think that he's the guy. There he is. I don't think he's the guy that should be getting the contract that he's going to get, because he's kind of the guy coming out this year, I think. So I fear that the Jets are going to go his way or 𝐒𝐫𝐞𝐞𝐬, and that would be a mistake in my opinion.
I agree. I don't want Jonah Williams either at this point. When I was doing my analysis on him, obviously left, right tackle flexibility, 8 sacks given up, so 4 less than Mekhi Becton. He had 41 pressures. That's 9 less than Mekhi Becton, but like second most of the tackles that I looked at. He had 7 penalties on the season. Now that's a third the penalties that Mekhi had. Mekhi had like 18 to 22, like insane. It's like, he had some that were declined, some that were offset, things of that nature. But man, Jonah Williams is an interesting tackle because he requested a trade prior to last year when they traded for Orlando Brown, and he did perform better at the right-hand side. And was he impacted maybe a little bit by the injury to Burrow? If Browning isn't throwing the ball away as fast, I don't really know necessarily. I'd have to go in and watch a little bit deeper dive on him. But I would say I agree with you, Bean. I don't want to pay at like this much money for Jonah Williams, considering where we're going to be at. Matt, what do you feel about Jonah Williams?
I'm going to keep on my hater train. I'm not a Jonah Williams guy. I think he's a popular name because he was a high pick, and he's still young at 26. Like that's something that jumps out, but his sack numbers and penalty numbers are extremely high every year. So I think he's going to cost you a lot of money, and I don't think he's worth it, unfortunately.